Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to discuss about the Osgoods Schramm model. Osgood Schramm model is a theory that communication is a two-way street with a sender and a receiver. Charles Atherton Osgood popularized the notion that communication was circular rather than linear, meaning it required two participants taking turns sending and receiving a message. Later on, field of experience was added to incorporate what is mutually understood between the sender and receiver. In a circular model, it has the encoder, the decoder, and the interpreter.
So encoder means the one who does the encoding or send messages. So for example, when we want to send a message, we need to think about on how to get our messages across clearly. We need to think of right words and what way we will send our messages to communicate and share our ideas to the message receiver. So that is encoder.
Decoding has both verbal and non-verbal form of communication. Decoding behavior without using words means observing body language and its associated emotions. Decoding is all about the understanding of what someone already knows based on the information given throughout the message being received.
Interpreter. Interpreter is the one who tries to analyze or understand the message. These roles are not so much as role as they are processes. For example, you are the encoder who sends the message, and your friend is the decoder that receives the message. After receiving the message, you must analyze the text messages. What does the message mean? Or what is the message all about? This is the role of the interpreter, to analyze the message. If the interpreter will misinterpret your message, it will become a barrier between your communication.
One of the advantages is it shows how feedback can work. This mode works well for explaining cyclical feedback. In this model, the speaker can get feedback about their language, jokes, choices of words, etc. So they can try to communicate more and more clearly as the cycle continues.
Number 2 advantages of Osgood-Schramm model. Recognizes the communication is complex. By accounting for decoding, encoding, and interpretation, this model show how sometimes we can mishear and misinterpret information. Number 3. See us as active communicators, while other models see people receiving information as passive recipients. This one shows how we are active in interpreting information we receive.
So the disadvantage of Schramm and Osgoods model is that it doesn't use semantic voice, meaning the real meaning of language. For example, a toy block could be called a block, or a toy, or a cube, because we don't really have to say the word a toy block. We can use a toy block or box because we are referring to that toy block. But so that is semantics. But Schramm's and Osgood's model doesn't do this. It only uses words they use since the beginning of their conversation or communication. So that is the disadvantage.
One disadvantage of Osgood's Schramm model is that it doesn't recognize that communication can be unequal. This communication is circular, which involves encoder and decoder, and the decoder being the encoder. There are communication that involve one authority figure talking and the other is just interpreting and listening. The model does a poor job of understanding power functions in communication.